The first time my wife said, I need more from you, I just went out and worked harder. I made more money. I did more around the house. I read more books, listened to podcasts, and she got more and more distant. Because I heard do more, be more. I missed what she was actually saying. In this video, I'm going to give you the full breakdown of what she actually means with those words. I need more from you. I'm going to explain why most men are hearing it wrong. And the one shift that is going to change how she responds to you. You're going to want to make sure you stick around for that third point because this is the game changer. So the first thing we need to explore here is where we're having a misunderstanding in the different experiences. Women and men orient to life differently. When a woman says, I need more from you, what she is actually saying is, I can't feel you. I want to be with you. Women express from their feelings, not from their logical brain. We're logical. Men are logical. That's how we default. And I remember, in my first marriage, because I'm in my second, in my first marriage, that was my learning relationship. I remember every time my wife would share a certain need or desire, I would take it quite logically of like, I have to do that and I need to make it happen. And then I remember I would think to myself, I'm literally doing everything you're asking for and you're still unhappy. And I was so frustrated. It was so confusing. But the thing that I didn't understand is she wasn't saying, Mike, do more. That's how my brain made sense of it. What she was asking for is, will you be here with me? And you know what the sad thing is? I didn't really fully get this insight until she left. We divorced, and I remember then just being with myself and feeling my feelings, something that I hadn't done in a long time. Because I was feeling, I started to have insight of, oh my God, she just wanted to be in life with me. She didn't need me to get more money. She didn't need me to create more status. She fell in love with me at the very beginning when I had none of it. It took me a divorce to realize that. My hope is you haven't gotten there yet. And that listening through this video, you're going to really understand what's happening in this dynamic because nothing's wrong with you. It's a misunderstanding. It's a misinterpretation because of the different ways of communicating. When a woman says, I want more from you, she isn't saying, I need you, honey, to do more. She's just saying, can you actually just stop disappearing behind all the actions and all the performance so we can be in life together? Because that's what helps her feel safe and feel good. One of the biggest reasons men default to doing instead of resting into being with women is it's safer. Most of us men have been given the messaging and the programming and the rewards in our providership, in our doing. Men are programmed to prove love. Women are designed to feel love. This is the disconnect. See, in society, there's been a lot of reward of how much we do and how skilled we are. And that's a fun part of being a human being. I love that part of being a man. I love being really good at things and I love making lots of money. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It's satisfying. I loved being able to come back and provide that. And if I don't practice presence and being with my wife, she isn't happy or satisfied and she can't even receive the material, tangible goods because that's not how she receives love. She needs to feel me being present. To understand this presence, the way that I look at it is everything that's left over when we stop performing, when we stop the busyness and all the I have to do's. See, with most of the men that I have worked with over the years in my 1-to-1 6-month containers, we get into this place where we start exploring the dynamic and what happens for men when they hear the words, I need more from you. I want you. I'm not feeling emotionally met by you. What a man often hears, and you get to feel yourself here, is the default of, this is a performance review and I'm failing. And then it invokes shame, and then it hits this like driving force inside of, now I got to go do a whole bunch more to prove that I'm worth loving, that I actually deserve a seat here in this relationship, in this home. And the sad thing is, she doesn't actually need that from you. She just wants you to be able to contain and slow that all down so that she can just feel you. I'm going to give you a framework that I've created. It's called the Heard and Seen framework. This is what more actually looks like for a woman. How you could remember this framework is VAR. Vulnerability, acknowledgement, and reassurance. This is what a woman is actually looking for from you. This is how you can bring presence. When you walk into a room and your wife or your partner or, woman walks, whether you're in partnership or I'm not sure your dynamic, but when she walks into the room and let's say she's upset, maybe she's had a big day. When she's coming towards you, your work is to recognize that there's vulnerability there. Just notice vulnerability. She's coming to you because she trusts you, because she wants to feel you hold her. And women are feeling oriented. They're chaos creative. They're unpredictable. And they're coming to you because there's some part of you that helps them feel safe. That's what they're looking for, not to be fixed, changed, or solved. I know that's what I can default to. That's what my forever work is, because my brain wants to go into a situation of, how can I make this better? And I want to help you make sense of this a little bit more. Men's nervous systems perceive women's emotions as a threat. And if we perceive something as a threat, we'll want to fix it, solve it, or change it. But then that's what they're pissed off about. That's what they're frustrated about. They're just needing connection. They're needing reassurance. And so going back to VAR, when you see your woman, or not your woman, sorry, but your partner or your wife, and she comes to where you and she's upset, this is how it looks. This happened to me the other day with Courtney. She was in the kitchen. She looked afraid. She had had a big day. And I walked up to her and I just acknowledged. This is so vulnerability. I saw the vulnerability and I went in to acknowledge. Oh, sweetie, God, it sounds like you've had a really big day. That's a lot to hold. Acknowledgement, just acknowledging her experience. And now we go to reassurance. I walked towards her. I slowed my pace down because they're feeling oriented. The more I slow down, the safer they feel. So she felt safer just because I'm slowing down. I changed the tone of my voice and I walked up to her and I put one hand on her back and then I turned down to make eye contact with her, drew her eyes to mine. And I put my other hand on her chest and I just said, hey, sweetie, hey, I'm here. I've got you. And then she had a big exhale. Her shoulders softened. And I said, I'm in love with you. Reassurance of the bond. She's looking for connection and presence. When she heard, I'm in love with you, tears in her eyes, she looked up at me and she said, you're in love with me? She's looking for reassurance. My logical brain used to default to, oh, I'm so frustrated by that question. Of course I love you. I've said it so many times. You ever been there? Let me know honestly in the comments. I said, yeah, I love you so much. And she just, ugh, and then cried and let a big release, and then just like really leaned in. And then we started making out, and it was really charged. There was a lot of polarity. This took 3 minutes. That level of presence, me not needing to perform, fix, or change it, me slowing my nervous system down where my brain's perceiving her emotions as a threat and a personal attack of like, oh, here we go. Can't we just be in the goodness of life? Another, that's where my brain can default to. And I have to slow myself down. That's my own presence, present with my own experience so I can offer it to her. And then when I do that, she melts. When I prioritize her, it took me 3 minutes. I used to think, oh, presence, it's like exhausting. It's so much labor. But now I've learned putting my phone down, making eye contact, moving towards her, giving her touch, reassurance, 3 minutes of actual true presence. She just softened, let go, and relaxed. You know what's cool is I actually had something to do. And I was on a bit of a time crunch. Took 3 to 5 minutes total after the making out. And then I was able to just go and do the thing that I needed to do. You know how liberating that was for me to be able to offer that and then just shift? This is the shift that will change everything. VAR, her vulnerability, come in and acknowledge and give her reassurance with your body, with your feeling, slowing your tone down. That's how her brain and nervous system receives information. It's the feeling of you. Am I making sense here? She's looking for the feeling of safety that you will prioritize her for a moment of time, and then her system can let go. So the next time your partner's really upset, the best thing that you can do, the most powerful thing that you can do for both of you is actually just not perform anything, not do anything productive. My imagining is if you're still watching this video, that's going to be hard for you because you will default to wanting to go do something. Because as men, because we have been trained to prove love, there's something that feels good inside of us to just go do a task. I know that's for me. When I get really triggered, I actually just go out and mow the lawn, or I work on the truck and I do something productive, and that testosterone and the adrenaline makes me feel better. But the tricky thing is, it's safer for me to disconnect and move and perform, but it's safer for me, but it's not nourishing our marriage and it's not nourishing our connection, because she needs to feel that I'm there in my presence for her to feel connected and bonded. I need her to feel good and safe in the relationship for me to feel bonded. And so what's tricky for a lot of men that I work with and support is the nervous system wants to default to the thing that creates a feeling of freedom and safety, but it's often disconnect. Our work as men, and you get to choose here, you can choose the thing that keeps you safe, which is doing and performance, or you can choose the thing that nourishes your marriage and your bond and creates safety for the both of you. And you get to choose what that is. Now, there's one objection that I often hear from men, especially going in, because this is vulnerable. You know, I've been doing this work for over 15 years. I've been in men's work for 10 years. And what a lot of men's objection is, yeah, Mike, but what if I go into that level of vulnerability and I offer that, or I go to move towards her and she attacks me, or she gets frustrated and criticizes me and says, oh, now you wanna? I want to acknowledge, yeah, that might happen. Yep. And I'm sure that has happened. And I'm so sorry if that's happened, because that's real and that sucks and it hurts and it makes it hard to want to try again. It really does. And you could choose to just stay closed and not try what I'm saying and not bring in new ingredients, not try VAR. My sense is you haven't had that framework before. Now you actually have a practical tool that you can bring in and acknowledge and reassure. And I've given you an example. You could choose to stay closed. And my imagining is if you stay in that self-protection, you're not going to get your needs met either, because she'll get farther and farther away and eventually stop reaching. She'll stop asking for more, and that's when things get really dangerous. And when she doesn't say, I need more from you, that's where things are really in a dangerous zone. Not irreparable, but I don't want you to get there, because I know what that feels like and it sucks. You can choose to do the hard thing and lead with vulnerability. You can do the hard thing and choose to move through this vulnerability and open your heart up and take this risk, which I just want to acknowledge for you. This is a risk. And everything that I just shared there, I want to know there's probably a man out there that's going to say, yeah, Mike, but you don't know my partner. She will tear me to bits. Yeah, maybe. But if you don't show up differently, if you just keep sitting there self-protecting and expecting her to be different, you're not giving either of you a chance. You're not giving the relationship a chance, because this is actually what women need. They need a man who is in his backbone and in his heart and can move towards and just give her the acknowledgement and the reassurance so that she can feel that you're there, and give her a new felt sense experience of you, the one that she fell in love with when she first met you. When you do that, all of a sudden you are changing the experience, not just for her, but for you, because this will break your brain. I remember the first time I did this, I couldn't believe how well she received it. And then I realized, oh my God, all these years, I just didn't have these tools. This is why I'm here giving you this. This isn't taught in school. This wasn't modeled by my father. This is hard information to find, which is why I want you to have it, because this is what can help you create a thriving relationship where both of your needs get met. Nothing is wrong with either one of you if you're feeling disconnected or distant. It's just a disconnection problem. Without the relational skills and the tools, without learning how to practice the presence of being as a man, just slowing down. Dropping all the productivity for a moment to actually bring yourself to her. If we don't practice that, you don't actually get to experience what's possible. Closing off is a really brilliant safety coping strategy. Our nervous system will do it automatically. But it's not the thing that creates thriving relationships. So my invitation for you is really find what you want to choose next time you're in an experience where she comes to you with her feelings. Can you dig deep? Can you recognize that if she's criticizing you, if she's shaming you, if she's saying she needs more from you, don't listen to the words. If you can, dig deep and recognize she's just reaching for you. She's looking for acknowledgement and reassurance. If you can offer her that, I can almost guarantee she's going to feel that potential that she saw in you when she first met you, that you were able to give her when you first met, because often when we're in the dating, we do prioritize the connection. Think about this for a second. I'm going to challenge you here. When I first started dating Courtney, I remember I dropped a lot of my projects. I prioritized time with her, and I planned dates, and I planned experiences for us to go out and create memories. And then we got together, and it's very easy to fall into, well, now I have to work and prove love and provide in order to get my needs met. But that's not the truth. I just lost touch with what was working in the beginning. Presence. Thank you for tuning in. If something in this really resonated with you, that's my imagining of the universe saying something's here for you. And so I created a free quiz that you can go take. and it's going to share and show where you're at in this journey of becoming a man. You can go down there. It'll probably take 3 minutes to fill out. It'll give you a scorecard and where you're at. And it's just information. There's no judgment. There's no bad, right, or wrong. It's just reflection. Oh, this is where I'm at. This is my growth edge. This is the thing preventing me from being fully present. When you get that information, you now have a choice of what to do, what to move towards. I hope you got value from this. If you did, let me know in the comments. What's your takeaway? What's your aha? I want to feel you. I love responding. I love reading them. And give this a like. Hit subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you on the next one.